Hello everyone and welcome back to our Python programming course. In the previous lesson, we learned about modules, file handling and exception handling. Today, we will learn object-oriented programming, commonly known as OOP. OOP is one of the most important programming concepts because it helps us to organize code into objects and classes, making programs easier to build and maintain. So let's begin. Object-oriented programming, or OOPS, is a programming approach that is based on objects. An object represents a real-world entity such as a student, a car, or a mobile phone. Instead of writing everything in one place, OOPS organizes related data and functions together. This makes programs more structured, reusable, and easier to understand. Many modern programming languages, including Python, Java, and C++, support object-oriented programming. To understand OOPS, we first need to know about classes and objects. A class is like a blueprint or template. For example, if we are building houses, the blueprint describes how every house should be built. An object is the actual house created from that blueprint. Similarly, in Python, a class defines the properties and behaviors, while an object is the real instance created from that class. One class can create many objects. Creating a class in Python is simple. We use the class keyword, followed by class name. In our example, we create a class named student. The pass statement is used because the class does not contain any code yet. Later, we can add variables and methods inside the class. This is the first step in creating an object-oriented program. Once a class is created, we can create object. To create an object, we simply write the class name followed by the parentheses. For example, object is equal to student. Creates an object of the student class. After creating the object, we can access the method and data defined inside the class. This is how objects are created and used in Python. Now let's understand about constructors. A constructor is a special method called automatically whenever an object is created. In Python, the constructor is written as init. It is mainly used to initialize the object's data. For example, we can store a student's name and age when the object is created. This saves time because the values are assigned automatically. Methods are simply functions written inside a class. They define the actions that an object can perform. For example, a student class may have a method called display that prints the student's information. Methods help organize related functionality inside the class, making the code cleaner and easier to manage. Inheritance. Inheritance is one of the most useful features of OOP. It allows one class to inherit the properties and methods of another class. For example, suppose we have a class called person. We can create another class called student that inherits from person. The student class automatically gets the features of the person class and can also have its own additional features. Inheritance reduces duplicate code and promote code reusability. Polymorphism. Polymorphism means many forms. It allows the same method name to behave differently depending on object using it. For example, different classes may have a method called display, but each class can implement its own way. This makes program more flexible and easy to extend. Encapsulation. Encapsulation means keeping data and methods together inside a class. It also helps protect important data from being modified directly. Instead of allowing every part of the program to access the data, we provide controlled method to work with it. Encapsulation improves actual security and keeps programs well organized. Let's quickly review the advantages of object-oriented programming. OOP promotes code reusability through classes and inheritance. It keeps programs organized by grouping related data and methods together. It makes maintenance easier because changes can be made in one place. Finally, OOP allows us to model real-world objects, making programs easier to understand. Beginners often make a few common mistakes while learning OOPs. One mistake is forgetting to use the self parameter inside methods. Another is creating objects incorrectly or forgetting to create an object before calling a method. Incorrect indentation is also a common problem because Python depends on proper indentation. By paying attention to these details, you can avoid many common errors. Let's understand everything with a simple example. Suppose we create a student class with two attributes, name and age. We use the constructor to initialize these values. Next, we create a method called display that prints the student's information. Finally, we create an object and call display method. This example shows how classes, objects, constructors, and methods work together in a real Python program. Thank you everyone for watching today's lesson. In this video, we learned about object-oriented programming, classes, objects, constructors, methods, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and their advantages. In the next lesson, we will explore advanced Python concepts such as list comprehension, map filter, lambda, zip, enumerate, and more. Thank you.